Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome back to the Rod Shop. Today, we're going to try to turn this, yeah, it's a stick, into these. So, yeah, stick around. This might work. I don't know. Anyway, stick around. Okay, Nathan brought me this. This is like a dog fetching a stick, I guess. Anyway, he found this floating in the lake and thought, well, could we turn this into a wooden handle? And I don't know. So I don't know what kind of wood is. It's very soft. You can dent it with a fingernail. It's kind of like cork. It's definitely not a hardwood. It's probably just one of those random mat pieces that float around in the Kissimmee chain. But we're gonna try to turn this into a set of grips. Again, never tried this, so let's try it. Why not? Okay, I'm going to try to use the most basic of tools. I've got a compound miter saw over there, but everybody that's watching this doesn't have one. So I also have this cheapy little miter box with saw from the big box stores. So first thing I'm going to want to do is I need a square end. So let's see if we can't get a square end. We're going to need a clamp. So I'm just going to clamp it here so it won't move on me. I'm going to take my little miter saw, and it's a cheapie. The wood is so soft it just grabs the teeth. So, okay. That's what a square end looks like. That might be alright. So, now, let's figure out how long we want the rear grip to be. So let's got my little stainless measuring tool here. That's a 3.5 grip. So let's get a marker. Now let's go with a pencil. Be nice if I had one that was sharpened. It'll work. So we'll do a 3.5. And then for the rear grip with the tenon, we're going to need another 2.5. So let's do this. We'll do 3.5, 2.5. Okay. I'm going to slide it down in the saw here. And hopefully I get 2 square ends. Okay, this is my rear grip. About the right length. And this way, that's gonna really be in the way. Okay. And now I've got a 3.5 and a 2.5. I'll set this out of the way. The next thing we got to figure out is how to get a center hole that we can arbor and turn to round. I'm going to drill a hole, but how exactly are we going to drill a hole? Are these going to be long enough? I do a 1/4 inch hole, which is the size of my. That'll get through that okay. It's not going to get all the way through that one. So if we do a 5/16 hole, that bit's a little longer. That's going to be close enough, probably. Yep, that will get through it. Now, got to figure out how to get a perpendicular hole through what is close to the middle. So, let's go to a marker. And I'm just gonna I didn't get a clean cut on this end. Yeah, this is really soft stuff. Okay, that'll work. So what I need to do, how are we going to do this? Well, let's make a mark at what we think the center is. And let's just say that that's pretty close to the center of mass. Obviously we've got, it's out of center this way. But I think that's going to work for center, and then let's sand this down and see what we get. And we'll call that pretty close to center. Yeah, I guess that'll work. Okay. Next, I can probably clamp this for my workbench here, make it a little safer to deal with. Find the flattest spot for it to ride up against. That's not. That's fairly sturdy. And now, these are just a. This is a cheap drill press. If you got a drill press, this would be very easy. But it's a guide to keep you perpendicular to this face. So I'm just going to start a little bit of a pilot hole here. Ooh, that went quick. Yeah, this is just like cork. Trying to drill cork is a pain. So alright, we've got a hole. Got really close there. I don't know if that's going to turn out okay, but we'll see. Let's try the same thing here with the what would be the butt grip. Probably should have had a smaller pilot hole, but I didn't. Now what we have is two short pieces of stick with holes in them. Let's see how this is going to work. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to move some of this stuff out of the way. I'm going to pull my dirty wrapper down. I have a bad 80s musical reference, but I'm going to spare you guys that. Now what I want to try to do is arbor this up. Okay. I want to arbor it up right there somewhere. Thought I brought a roll of tape out here. Alright, that's pretty close. I'm going to put just a little bit more on that front one where it's almost impossible to get it on. You really want this tight. It'll cut down on some of the wobble. This thing is going to wobble horrifically. Anyway, but let's give it a whirl. Alright, what I've done is I have two stands turned the opposite way so this thing won't jump out at me. I also have an accessory here. It's a pack bay bench rest that fits on the normal wrapper track to turn it into a mini lathe. It still turns a little bit. So we'll see if this will work. Now I'm going to use that anything there, it's just going to stabilize and give me the option of maybe getting this thing actually round in the hand, but we'll see. Alright. Okay. Drop it in here. Get this going. How does that look? Ooh, that looks horrible. It's a little wobbly. Well, let's see if we can get it straightened out with just normal tools. Now, if that doesn't work, I'll actually get some lathe tools out because I want to make this work. So, put my bench very close. Unfortunately, that's as high as my bench rest will come up. It'd be better if I was a little higher. So, just gonna take, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna start with just an emery board and see how that works out. Yep, and I'm gonna need a dust mat. Y'all hang on. Okay, I would turn my dust collection system on, but then you really wouldn't be able to hear me. I did pull out my sanding mask when I'm working on epoxy sanding and really fine particle stuff when I'm working on a boat, but you're not going to be able to hear what I got to say. It might not be that important anyway, honestly. I'm just going to try to get this down to where it's a cylinder that has the hole actually centered in it, and let's see if we can make that happen. Alright, so I pulled out my sanding block that has sandpaper on it. So this really needs to be really aggressive here. Alright, so I did have to get the dust collection going, my makeshift dust collector here. Now, I want to see how much further we've got to go. So, take this out of the wrapper. Zero my digital caliper here. So that's at, let's just say 27.5 millimeters. Okay, so we want it's gonna be 27.5. And then the actual tenon is 22.8. And then the tapered end is going to be 20.9. Okay, I know we got a long ways to go, obviously, but it's getting there. So we shall see. So I'm gonna put my gear back on, crank the shop vac back up because it's doing a really good job of sucking up all that fine dust, and see if we can't get down somewhere close. So don't go away. Well, that took a lot longer than it should have. But since I really didn't know what I was doing, I was being careful. You saw me get the knife out, and it was just, this wood is too soft for the knife. It's really more for a hardwood. So that didn't work. So then I got the flat file out, the nice and rusty Harbor Freight version flat file, which is great for cutting the tenon and rounding the shoulder. But this the rear grip is done. Now we're going to start on the butt grip. And I won't bore y'all with all the details, but maybe we'll fast forward through some of it to so at least you can see it come into shape. Let's get this one off without breaking it. Well, that one went a little easier. I started with the knife. I know I was cheating. And then I finished, I went from the knife to the file and then to the emery board, which is about 50 grit. And then to the 320 to put a nice smooth finish on it. But, yeah. From a stick to a pair of grips. Again, crappy wood, but it is possible. So next time, I don't know what we're going to be doing. I got some cork stuff I need to do. We still need to finish the two heavy 7.4 heavy worm rods. They're close. They need final epoxy and some labels. I've got 10 high production builds. It's got to go. 4 of them are identical. 6 are identical. They're on high-end gear, extremely high-end components. I'll do some of those for you. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Is this worth the time and effort? I think it's pretty cool. Again, if we started with better wood, but to prove that we could come from a stick to some grips. It was a fun little experiment. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.